Hey, yo, what's going on, Royal family? Welcome to another episode of the Kingdom Podcast Roundtable Talk. Um, First and foremost, I'm happy to be back. I missed a couple of weeks, but the awesome team that we have here at the Kingdom, Fridge, Fish, Carly, Perunga, all the people that you see here today, they've been on it. They've been holding together the streams, even while I took some downtime. And I just want to say, first and foremost, I appreciate all of you guys for taking time out of your days to, keep what we have going. So I appreciate that. Secondly, you know how we do. We're gonna talk about the things going on in the market. We're gonna look at some charts. We're gonna decide what looks good, what doesn't look good. These are all of our own opinions. None of this is financial advice. So if you are looking for that type of advice, you probably want to consult somebody that's a professional in that. Definitely do your due diligence. I just want to go ahead and get that out the way. You work too hard to just throw your money into the market without knowing what you're actually using it on. So do your own research or consult a professional, either way you go, but these are just our ideas and what we like. And thirdly, what's up, family? We got Fridge Financials. How you feeling, bro? Doing good?
Yeah, man, doing good. It's great, honestly, taking a back seat a little bit, letting you be back in the helm here because, man, hosting, dude, is not easy on this podcast, man. Let me tell you. So I'm so glad that you're back. I'm able to contribute still, as always. I know we were talking about some ideas from before that we'll talk about later on, but I did some research for the last 20 minutes straight just staring at screens. So I have some documents that we could talk about later on. I'm excited for another week though in the market, man. Another full week. I'm ready to go. It's my last. It's like my second to last full week before school's back in session. I'm back to teaching students, so and try to
Okay.
do the most of it as we go. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun week. I'm looking forward to it as always.
Yes, sir. Also, we got the Queen, Carly. How you feeling, Queen?
I am.
Okay.
I'm glad to have you back, but I have to say, Fridge did a pretty bang up job of being the,
The
uh,
host,
the
most
host. Thank you.
most
She
definitely.
did a good job. But welcome back, royalty. We missed you.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Of course, we got my boy Fish. How you feeling, Fish?
I'm great, bro. I'm great, bro. Thank you so much for having us on, on here and holding it down. Giving us that opportunity, man. And once again, I'm gonna ring the bell as Fridge. Wow, bro, you brought the energy. You did it.
Yes,
You
sir.
really did it. He did it,
Thanks,
man. He
man.
sounded like he sounded like he was on, three espressos, like just back to back to back. It was great.
Why do I give away my secrets, man? It's about three special shots in. It's my secret. Don't be giving away my secrets to people like that.
I know Fred definitely gonna bring the energy. He's definitely gonna bring the energy. And lastly we got my boy Perunga, the Dragon. How you feeling, man?
I'm doing well, thanks. Happy to have you back and happy to be here. And yes, just as everyone else said, Fridge did a great job, but happy to have royalty here. And I have not been doing research for the last 20 minutes, so just throw that in there.
Well, I've been kind of behind. As you guys know, I went on vacation with the family for a little bit. Had to take that time out. Once again, I can't express how important it is to take time away, not necessarily from the market, but give yourself an opportunity to do something different. Um, Simply because when you become too focused on it, it messes up your perception about certain things because you're just too focused on it. So, it's always a good thing to kind of look away for a little bit and then come back to it with a fresh mind. So, I needed that. I came back. We started calling bangers in the day trades and the swing trades. I was loving it. Fish MSTR went crazy for a day. It went from like that mid 300 level to almost what 400,
It, it,
405.
yeah, it went just a little over 405, man.
My
Trust me, I know this because I've got a 405C for this coming Friday, so I watch it.
facts. Even we took Apple head on early, and it went from the 210 call that I was in. We sold it in the money. Next thing you know, I mean it's at 230 now. That contract went from like 170. It was currently sitting at like $1,900. So of course, money is money, profit is profit, but hey, when you make a move like that sometime, it kind of hurt when you look at it and see like, bro, I had a $150 contract and it's at $1,900 now. So the market been
Yes.
moving just differently. And then I know Perunga, you've been doing a lot of spreads and everything. Well, would you call them spreads?
Yeah, spreads. Yeah, and then sometimes I do like a put and stuff. But yeah, it spreads.
And man, I'm just impressed. I'm so impressed with how the consistency of you entering and exiting is almost you're automated with it, bro. So I definitely commend you on that. On the way that you
Well,
that you
thank you.
execute, bro. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So um,
Thank you.
first thing that we're gonna
But hey, it
do.
happens.
What you're saying,
Say like what you said. You take a profit, and then it could have been more. It happens.
bro?
It happens. Profit is profit, like we talk about.
Profit is profit. So um, we're gonna start it off. We're gonna look at the SPY and the Qs. I got the chart up. Can you guys see the chart too? I should be streaming it in the Discord for you guys also.
I
It
do not see
disconnected earlier.
anything right now. Yeah, you might have to reshare your screen again for it.
Let's see. Oh yeah, it did come off. All right, let me reshare it.
They don't want you. They don't want you revealing this to the charts, dude. They want you to keep it to yourself.
All right, can you guys see it now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so first and foremost, I got the spot up. Now, if I look at it, we're going to retest these, or we're pushing. Let me not say that we're going. We're looking to retest these all-time highs around 640. Um, these gap ups that we have, it's, I mean, it's been showing strength. We coming off a bullish month, 1 month, and a bullish 3 month. So, every time it looks like that the market's gonna go ahead and retrace back to the downside. I mean, we're seeing the investors actually. I mean, we're watching them step in. So going into this upcoming week, we got this gap down here, and we have a gap up here and a gap up here. Here we are with the all-time highs again. This is going to be interesting, in my opinion. Let's fix that. All right, so right now this is the one of the earliest trends that I see right now on SPY. Um, Even if we come down and refill this gap here between 633 and 632, we're still within the guidelines of this uptrend right here. So the thing that I'm kind of watching is that's letting me know that we're probably going to continue pushing up. We had a gap down that was, I mean, a gap up that the price filled it, but it came right back up and gapped up. So it shows that investors liked it. A lot of people are probably waiting on this gap down here to get filled. But as of right now, we got to play this one. And if it gets filled, I'm going to continue to say until we break this trend right here, it's going to come back up and it's going to get bought back up. Because I feel like they want to come back up and retest 640 to see if it's ready. It might not be ready yet, but at least we gonna get another retest to get a second try here. So if it fails, the first thing that I'm watching right now is for this support right here to hold up. So this is a level of support, kind of like we saw it retested over here. And then it finally came back down after it didn't have enough to actually continue up. Um, Here's the support that I'm liking right now. And this is around 629, 630. So on a bigger scale, I'm just watching I'm watching the actual price action in between here. So between 638 and 630, I'm watching to see how the price is gonna actually anticipate, the moves that we've been seeing lately. The push from Apple, the big push from Microsoft, the drop from Tesla. All of these are keeping prices in neutral areas to kind of keep the SPY consolidated, so it keeps us within these ranges right here. So the first green day that we see where everything moves together, that's when we're gonna be on the road to going back to push these all-time highs. And then for this month, I actually got a upside target around like 652, and that's if we hold structure and we continue to push to the upside. So it's gonna be a big move. That's about a $12 move from all-time highs, but you never know. We got a couple of stocks that's like I said, it's kind of in the gutter or trading sideways. But we saw this absolute move from Apple here, and this is what I want to go over real quick before we hop into everything else. This is what's holding the market up right now. Once it broke this 206 level, we took profit right around here. But even afterwards, it got an extra extended move to the upside, which this price action right here isn't even normal for Apple. Apple normally moves within like a $3 to $4 range. This is the actual unnatural move for Apple to kind of really squeeze out these people that was holding puts and looking for this move right here to continue back to the downside. So I just will keep my eyes out for Apple. I wouldn't buy anything else in it as of right now, just because I know it's extended. It could hover around here, but just be careful. I'm watching for support to set up around these ranges right here. And then, as you know from the past, normally when Apple consolidates or drops, that gives the other stocks time to actually move on their own. Because we've seen a lot of consolidation, but we've seen big moves from Apple. So while this is taking its chance to kind of breathe from the extended move we've been seeing, we could see the rest of some of these stocks move, or have their time to shine in the market. Nvidia, Google, Amazon, even Microsoft. I'm hoping Microsoft, but hopefully the rest of the market gets to move while Apple gets to breathe. So um, crypto, Bitcoin. I'm coming your way, fish.
I
Coming your
had
way.
myself mute. I had myself muted, and I heard crypto, and I was like, "Okay, unmute."
Coming your
What do
way.
we want?
Mm.
So Bitcoin looks very interesting. Um, I remember we saw the actual drop down to this 113 range. I think I remember I seen you post about buying the dip down here. Beautiful buy.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful buy. We're sitting at 118.9, pushing. Think I said I wouldn't be surprised if we open around 119, 120 tomorrow. This daily candle looks strong. It's about an hour, 24 minutes left before it closes. It looks strong. We could be building off of this going into tomorrow. So definitely keep
So
my eyes on that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Nah, go ahead, bro. What you were saying?
I was just going to say it's very important for us to close over 118
Hmm.
in order to continue moving up. If we close under 118, then we have the possibility of going back down and retracing. So this is looking very, very strong. Very strong.
I agree. I agree. How you feeling about MSTR?
Oh man, I'd love to see the share price go up. That's for certain.
Scooped up?
Um,
Have you scooped up any more Misty?
no, man, I've got enough Misty right now. I've got 550 shares. I'm good. I'm where I want to be on that. I've got some other things that I'm focusing on that are not crypto related, which I know it's weird for me. But but yeah. So no, I haven't scooped up any more Misty. But my next dividend play is going to definitely be ULTY. I know that's not crypto related. I'm just saying since we're talking about dividend stocks there.
I must be.
Or ties.
That's something I really been pumping for the past. Well, this past week. I mean,
Yeah.
every time it drops below that $6, $6.04, $6.03. I'm like, hey, look, y'all, buy right now, like buy because it's probably gonna go back and retest 620, 630. So whenever the market actually recovers. So and it actually has holders in well, I don't know how long they wrote how frequently ULTY rotate their holdings, but last time I looked, they had some MSTR on it.
Yes, they do. Yes, they certainly do.
I s So even when you're not talking about crypto, you're talking about crypto pretty much.
Well, I mean, I did notice that it was one of their holdings, which made me a little bit more bullish on buying it. I will be honest there. But I also do like that it's a weekly payout, so that's
Okay,
pretty cool.
cool, cool. Yeah, M Finance and Geo, they both just they love Misty.
Yes,
I mean, not Misty,
yes.
ULTY.
ULTY. Yeah. Yes, they do. Yes,
Okay.
they do.
So
Um, can we talk about Ethereum real quick?
ETH, okay. What's up with it? What's up with it? With Ethereum right now?
Man, I mean, look at your chart. That's what's up with Ethereum.
That chart is wild.
I used
Yeah,
to
that's all I have to say.
I used to be big on Ethereum. I know a lot of people was doing a lot of like staking and things of that nature with Ethereum and buying it. My chart as of right now said it is looking to retest. When was this? So this was
This weekend
just
it went parabolic.
yeah. This was just yesterday.
Yeah.
Last night
Yeah.
it retested resistance at 4,300. So we can come back above 4,300. Make this move around here, that 4,400 level. That's gonna be the test as far as I know. Cause look at the move that we could see.
So more parabolic is what I'm hearing.
If
That's all
Yes.
I see.
if 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 Bitcoin wants to continue to move, honestly, just it could move on its own, but I always just try to look at how strong Bitcoin is, and I kind of that's how that's what motivates me to say, all right, the rest of them are gonna want to follow too. But if it keeps moving up, where's my Bitcoin at? Yeah, it's already finna go back and retest its 119. I'm looking for Bitcoin to retest this 123 if we continue this uptrend. Um, I still got 132. I know I gave that level pretty early on when we first seen the move to the upside, but I still got 132 as a level I think that we can reach this year. Well, this quarter. Let me put it like that. So with ETH, if Bitcoin can make another parabolic move, I think this could be followed the same way. We just seen this thing just go from 3,500 to 4,300 in a week. I think we
Yeah,
could see
it kills
another.
me.
I think we could see another move. And yeah, we actually been talking about ETH, drawing the charts and going over it and everything. So I know you're looking for this thing to go to hit this 5,400 level, huh?
Not immediately because I recently started my position in Ethereum and I wasn't bullish enough as soon as I started it. Apparently, I personally I would love to see a drop back down to the 3,500 level. My cost is 3,581
Okay.
on point four Ethereum. So I'd love to see it drop back down so I can throw anything that I have available at it,
Well, you know what you know
and
what
then
that
let's
mean,
shoot
huh?
for the moon. What's that?
I say you know what that mean. Whenever we want something to drop, you know what that mean. That mean we got
That means
in with just enough money to make some money on it. Cause
that means 5,400 coming.
yeah, we never really get as much money as we want in it before it just runs. Like Apple. Everybody and their mama's probably like, man, I should have bought more. I should have. Apple said, nope. Hey, either you can get what you can get and hold on for the ride, or just miss the ride altogether. So it's definitely dope that you already got a position formed in ETH and you already taking that ride to the upside. So good luck, brother.
Thank you, thank you.
Uh, Vix Queen, Carly, what you got? I know she said she was cooking a little bit.
I am done now. Now I'm on cleanup, so I have like 30 seconds to go.
Okay.
Okay, so the VIX has been really interesting. It's been in a very, very, very tight channel between 15 and 18, and seeing the volumes, you can see how it's being compressed in between there.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of making it a prime time to swing trade UVIX and XVIX, which ironically are the same exact price right now. You could literally every day swing both of them and make like an easy 8% return. It's become one of the most predictable until it won't be, unfortunately, but it has become an extremely predictable trade right now. So, and it's shares. So if you're, if you're scared to get into VIX calls or calls period, you can just swing trade UVIX shares and SVIX shares.
Okay. I remember you mentioning UVix to me a little while ago. So yeah, it definitely looks like it's broken a lower low. But normally
Yep.
when you see this, it's gonna eventually want to have like a little slingshot effect back to the upside before it really settles and decides if it wants to continue to go down or not. So you're right about that. You
And
you could definitely make
yeah,
what a nice 8%, overnight on it.
yes. And it's become extremely predictable. And I think it's going to be predictable for all of the month of August because so much of the market is on auto trade right now that um, when the VIX hits a certain level, it kicks these quants and algos into buying um, SPX. They don't buy SPY, they buy SPX. Or when it hits 18, it like triggers a little sell off. And they just seem to be going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on it. So I think we should see that a lot of August, unless something, a wild card comes up, which we know is always um, possible.
I mean, and it's
Hmm.
it's it's doing exactly what you're saying. It's a nice little, downtrend, but it's very, very tight. It's pretty much hugging the bottom of the trend, and then you're getting a sharp move to the upside. So,
Yeah.
um, definitely an easy money maker by the end of the week. If we don't see it at the beginning of the week, then you're gonna see it by the end of the week or the beginning of the beginning of the next week.
Well, and with having PPI or CPI Tuesday and then PPI Thursday, I would be prepared that there's probably going to be a big market movement.
Okay.
Whether it's good or bad, I don't know, but
Those are some
so
of the
keep that.
so those are some of the red folder events that we got coming up this week.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Fridge had the list of all of them. Those are the two big ones I know.
Yeah,
Fridge.
we got CPI Tuesday, PPI Thursday, jobless claims is always on Thursday, and
Oh
I
yeah,
think retail is Friday. I want to say for
that'll be
um
interesting.
yeah, and I mean now that we're talking about CPI and PPI, they're looking at their estimates are going to be higher than last month, which obviously, as we know, just means that inflation is still sticking around higher and higher, which just makes rate cut. I mean, if we get kind of like what Kyler's saying, if we get any kind of data points, like CPI can reveal two things. We can see that inflation isn't up tricking up. It's not going up as much as we expect from tariffs, which is good, which could
Right.
keep the rate cut idea somewhat in check. If CPI comes in higher than expected, comes in really hot compared to what it's supposed to come in at, and we get a big miss there. The rate cut percent is going to be dropping in September because of higher prices and inflation. So CPI is the bigger one, I think, to watch. Definitely, it is always good to watch retail sales though, because again, that's how you know where the spending is in the economy. What's the consumer doing? And right now, their projections for retail month over month. Last month, it came in really good at 0.6%. This month, they're looking at 0.5%. So a little bit of a decrease compared to last month's retail sales. If it comes in expectations, I think that's going to be no big deal for the market. But if we get a big miss and retail sales is a lot lower, then 0.5%, that also could be a factor that could push this economy and push these markets down a little bit, and get that spike in the VIX as Carly's talking about. So retail, CPI, PPI, always some good things to watch out for the week. And that's really all I really got at this moment on that.
Retail's going to be interesting because July was Prime Week, and also
Yes.
that was the same week that Walmart smashed sales also. So I
Yes.
wouldn't be surprised if it came in really good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and I think if we get a higher if we get a higher report on retail sales, I think that's going to signal that like our economy is still spending and it's still thriving,
Exactly.
and you don't even need. But I think if it comes in also higher than expected, I think that would also decrease the chance of a rate cut, because if your economy
Yeah.
is still spending and it's
Yes.
still showing strong spenders from the consumer side, you don't need a rate cut. The rate cut
Yeah.
is there to stimulate the economy, and if retail sales is higher than expected and still doing really, really well, like that's where you're going to sit there and be like, I don't need to do this. I don't really need to cut rates because our economy is still thriving. There's still money being pumped into it. So retail sales is definitely something that I think some people tend to overlook at times, but it is a very, very big factor to keep your eye out for, to see what the consumers are doing overall.
Absolutely.
As far as inflation goes and things like that, how do you guys feel about that? You know,
Well,
you,
my thought is that the market has not priced in tariffs. I know that for
mm,
sure, which makes sense because it's just barely starting to show up in the numbers. And I saw a stat last month that said tariffs take 6 to 18 months to start to flow through all the system. Plus, I'm not even sure that companies have figured out if they're, because they're probably going to swallow some of them, and then some of them will be passed on. I think companies probably haven't even figured that out. So, market isn't pricing it in, but at some point they're going to have to price it in if it starts to hit these econ reports.
that's probably something I was starting to think about as far as this quarter goes. I know at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the year, when we were having a lot of talk about, how the tariffs are going to really affect the economy and everything. My whole thing was, how is the the companies going to reflect on like Q3, Q4 earnings reports
Yep,
once these tariffs really start setting in, and what companies are going to be able to stay afloat. It's going to really show who has the cash on hand and things of this nature as far as survival. So
absolutely.
has anything really just went into effect with tariffs? Honestly,
Yeah. August 7th, everything went into effect.
okay.
Correct.
I
Yeah.
think there wasn't there some delay though for was it, I don't know, I thought I saw something that there's something that's coming up August 12th for tariffs. I could be wrong, but
Well, maybe a specific country, but anybody who got the letter or we made a deal with, those started August 7th.
oh, so August 12th is the expiration of the tariff agreement between the US and China.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a big one. That's the
Yeah.
biggest one that everybody's been relying on, is the one between the US and China. And if nothing gets finalized there and we keep it going, then could see a little bit of a reaction in the market there, I think, as well.
Yeah, but I think when we see them say we don't have an agreement, but we're very, very close, so we're going to go give it
Yes.
another 90 days.
We're going
You
to
know,
get
I mean,
4 years of that.
yeah, I mean that's what
Mhm.
I'm saying. The market, just in my opinion, the market has already sort of become numb to that. We're
Yeah.
sort of expecting this to
Mhm.
happen.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion from watching the charts
I
as
agree.
this different news comes out.
Yeah.
And I
It,
think and I think it's one of those things where it's like the big hitter is China, right? So Trump's like, oh, like, we can put tariffs on this country, this country, this country. Oh, okay, cool, 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 whatever. But like the heavy hitter, like the final boss battle, is US and China. And that's
Yeah.
the one that the market will really have a reaction to when things are quote unquote finally set in stone, which is probably why US and China has been the one that's really been pushed back on and has been delayed over and over again. The smaller countries are more just like, yeah, we'll delay it, but like, we could still get, some tariff, negotiations in there. but they're going to keep pushing back the China one because they know how much of a heavy hitter that would be on the economy. Because again, remember, when we first announced those tariffs back in April of like 200% or whatever the crap it was, like our markets hated that. They were just like, this is disgusting. Like we are screwed. And then he was like, whoa, let's back up here a little bit. We got to back up. Hey, we don't want to go into a Great Depression here. So he backed off because that's how much of a heavy hitter China is on GDP for the U.S. economy. And that's the problem, which is why I think, Fish, like you're saying, we're going to just keep kicking the can down the road. 90 days turns into another 90 days and turns into, hey, by 2027, by 2028, oh, I'm out of presidency. Okay, whatever, nothing got done. But I did the best I could in my 4 years kind of thing. So I completely agree. I wouldn't be shocked if, Monday night comes around and there's Trump on True Social saying, we're getting very, very close to a deal again with China. We're not really quite sure. It's in the works, as we know. I have somebody flying over to China right now and meeting with representatives from China. It's
China
it's
loves
going to be something like that.
Did you
Yeah,
already
it's gonna
write
be
the, Did
huge.
you already write the post? Because it sounds pretty plausible.
Yeah. I want you guys to know. Secretly, I've been insider trading with the Trump administration for the last 6 months. No, my portfolios are down for the year, so I have not been insider trading that one.
there's something that I wanted to add to this, Fridge, because what you brought up is extremely important. And while we don't think it affects the market, it absolutely affects the market, right? So national security, okay? China owns a great deal of our debt. If they wanted to, they could help not crash our economy, but they could severely hurt our economy. If they just unloaded all of our debt all at once, it would severely hurt our economy. So dealing with China is not the same as dealing with, I don't know, Poland,
Any other
right?
country.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Yeah.
It's not the same as dealing with France. I mean, this is so, so, so different because of the multitude of different reasons. I mean, we haven't even talked about, a defense situation, I'll call it. This is just so important. So that's why I'm pretty positive that we will just continue to get the 90-day.
Is there a Robinhood prediction market for this Fish by any chance? Do you know?
Oh my God! You know what? I haven't seen one yet, but when there is, I'll let you know because I'm gonna full port on it. Okay.
Well, did you see that they have? Did you see that they have the Bitcoin prices for the year? You can estimate when Bitcoin hits a certain price. You could buy into that if you want to.
So I've seen somewhere, maybe it was on Webull, that you can bet where Bitcoin's going to close within the next hour, or maybe it was on Robinhood. I don't know. It's one of those two.
Oh,
I think
not on Robinhood.
Not Robinhood. Okay, so then it was Webull. It's like, guys, this is just gambling, straight.
That's bad.
Isn't that what
That's really bad.
is, though?
I mean, this isn't even like an option. I mean, this is just because they don't even give you that big of a spread on it, Carly. That's the thing. Yeah, it's a pretty tight spread for Bitcoin, and it's just not even worth it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
They don't have anything up there, but by the way, bet on what happens Tuesday. But if it happens, you guys heard it here first on the Kingdom Podcast that we are all predicting that nothing will happen and the can will be kicked down in another 90 days. And then we'll maybe talk about TikTok again because I don't even know what happened with TikTok, with the ban on that one. I know they pushed it back again a while ago, but
that's just getting kicked down the road too.
Yeah, and again, it's a major thing with China also. So Trump just keeps kicking that one down the road as well, probably being like, "Hey, we're buddies here. Hey, trying to help you out a little bit, whatever the case is, dude." I mean, it's gonna just be pushed back. But Vietnam, they're like, "Nah, tariffs, get out of here. I don't give a crap about you, Vietnam." It's okay, dude, sure. You're picking on the little kid in school, but then you have this big, strong guy who's the most handsome one in the class. You're like, "Oh, it's okay. Hey, buddy, it's cool." But the little small kid that's super scrawny is getting absolutely pushed into the dirt over here, Vietnam, and just be just shoved in the ground. It's so stupid sometimes.
That's a good depiction.
I actually have a little. I have a little insight on the TikTok situation. It's all supposed, right? But You know, as some of the Kingdom members know, Mrs. Fish has her ear to the ground pretty good, and she usually hears stuff first. And before she, then she tells me, and I'm like, oh, I don't really know about that, hon. And then, a bit later, I'm like, how the hell did you know about this? You know what I mean? And it's like Fridge was saying, once or twice is a coincidence. When you've got a full data set, it's no longer a coincidence. So she was telling me that what she's heard is that Larry Ellison's son is supposed to take over the American portion of TikTok. That's supposed to be what's behind the scenes there. Larry Ellison of Oracle. Supposed to
Yeah,
be
but
his
the
son.
American version doesn't have the algorithm, which is really what they want. That's the problem, is the algorithm.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
heard it wasn't Facebook trying to buy or attempted to buy the algorithm from TikTok.
I think all of them did, and China has said a hard no way, Jose, are you getting the algorithm, because you can only imagine what's in it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
like,
But
admitting what they're really using it for, you know?
Yeah,
if they want the algorithm, you just got to pay the 500 billion or whatever it's evaluated at and buy out TikTok. That's all you got to do. So
Yeah, but
if
here's
you
the
want
thing.
if you want
TikTok
the algorithm, just buy it outright.
They
TikTok
won't.
being a Chinese, or ByteDance, who owns TikTok, being a Chinese company, China would never allow the
No, that's what
sale of
they said.
the
They don't
full
care
sale.
how much they'll pay. They are not selling that algorithm. China won't
Exactly.
allow it. They won't. They've said that.
That is exactly my point. It just the Chinese state government would never allow it.
Yep.
I hate to
But
cut y'all
yeah,
off real quick. Hey, what y'all think about this bull chart right here? Real
Dude,
quick.
I see a
I
smiley
think
face. I don't know about you
I
guys,
see
but I
a
see a smiley
really
face.
pretty picture. Yes. It's just
I
a
see I
sweet
see.
smiley face.
Oh, I see.
Smiley
No,
wow.
face.
Okay.
Rosie, I'll tell you right now. Rosie. Like, it's probably like the best. It's probably a really good chart, and it's probably going to look really nice, and it does look awesome. But I just see a smiley face. I don't know what my problem is today, but that's what
No,
I
it's
see.
it's
Oh,
it's a
I see
smiley face.
I see some really cool price action on here, man. I see some really neat stuff in here.
Like I
What is
definitely
it?
that's Weeble.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
Yeah.
man, I love the way that this chart is. It's
So
so
It,
cool.
there's
The different patterns inside the different patterns. Like you can see the cup and handle inside the cup and handle. Like this is
mhm.
oh
does
cool,
my.
man.
the smiley face mean that we're being bullish? Also, is that what I'm getting? Is that like
exactly,
happy? The
it's
smiley face is so happy. It's like, yo, guys, like I'm so happy. I'm gonna make some money on this stock right now.
yeah. So as long if this doesn't break down on Webull, we'll probably see this $21 mark pretty soon.
Ooh, that's pretty. That's a good return too. What's that right now? 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, something around
So
that.
you're looking at like a 30 something percent upside, I think. If
If
my
you
math is correct. I don't
for the,
know. It's a Sunday evening, but
bro, this is where I originally started alerting it right here.
What's
yeah.
the time frame on that chart, Royalty?
This is a 30 minute.
Oh, 30-minute. Okay.
Yeah, this is
So
a
at
30
some
minute.
point it was $21 though?
Yeah, at one point in time, these are all like post IPO. So it IPO'd at
Oh, that's the
between
very beginning.
yeah,
Okay, that's
Yeah,
the lifetime of it. I'm with you now.
yeah.
it had that huge squeeze at that when it first IPO. It went to like 70,
Holy
right? It was like
shit.
70 something. Yeah,
Yeah.
almost $80. That
Damn.
was a wild one. And then it got, imagine buying at the top at $80 and then getting rug pulled down to $10.
Ugh,
Ooh.
that hurt.
That's crazy. If someone's watching this and they did that, I apologize. I'm not throwing shots, but like, oh man, like that's always a thing where it's like playing IPOs is so risky. No matter what IPO comes out, whether it's we had the CoreWeave rally, we had the Circle huge rally, Reddit had a huge rally. I know it when it first IPO'd, but then you have like Figma, the new one, rallied one day and it's come back down a lot ever since. So like IPOs are so tricky to trade with, in my opinion, because it could just be. It's kind of like throwing a dart at a dartboard and just hoping that the valuation is too low and people love the stock and they pump it up higher. But it's a hard one to play these days.
Does anybody know any background on Figma?
I
I
I
don't.
just know
believe
Adobe
I
wanted to
believe
buy
it
them. That's
is.
all I know.
I believe it is
I know that.
used in a lot of companies. I think it's like
Adobe,
400
right?
something out of 500 Fortune 500 companies or whatever, and they are like Adobe wanted to buy them out at one point at a lower price, and they said no, and they went public, and they're worth more, I think, than what Adobe offered. I
Wow.
believe.
I
Yes,
don't. I
you're
don't even know
correct
what
on
they
that.
do. I think they're AI or something.
Yeah, it's
They
with
are.
AI. I don't know exactly what it is either. I don't know if it's like you know what, dude? I can Google it for you guys. Don't worry, I got it. I got like 4 monitors here, so I gotta use one of them.
The reason why I asked it was because on weekends I post charts for whoever just want insight on whatever, don't matter.
Mm,
And the first one I did was Adobe because he asked me to look at it before I even he asked me to look at it like Thursday before I even decided to start looking at it. So I looked at it, charted it, and everything, and I started getting the comments like, "Oh, Adobe trash," and Adobe this, Adobe that. Adobe's been getting beat up pretty bad. Yeah, you know, I didn't know anything that correlated with Adobe and Figma, but
yeah.
apparently it's some type of competitive market, competitive
Hmm.
marketing with Adobe and Figma, whatever. So,
It's with like marketing and designing and AI and stuff like that. But it's the thing though with Adobe, and I don't know if you saw relative to what I put on After Hours today, but like there's quite a few AI stocks that are or like companies that are being heavily impacted by AI now this year. And Adobe's one of them. It's down like 25% year to date. But it's because again, you have why go to Adobe and pay the subscription for Photoshop for Premiere and pay all the money for it when you can go into any kind of AI building platform and it can make shorts for you, it can make TikToks for you, it can make images for you, it can make thumbnails for you. Like, why do you need Adobe in that case? And so that's the big risk they're playing right now is now. And my theory is this: Adobe now basically over the next 6 to 12 months, maybe even longer, their back's going to be against the wall in terms of are they going to innovate and then push their company to a new level to outbeat or to outpace what AI is doing in terms of like ChatGPT, or are they going to just keep doing what they're doing and fall behind the curve and then AI just takes it over? So that's a huge thing that like Adobe is one of those plays where it's being heavily impacted negatively because of AI. And you wouldn't think that at first, but it's because AI's taken over all of it. You know, I make my thumbnails through AI. I use ChatGPT for my thumbnails. I don't need Adobe Photoshop and then have to go in and edit it and then do that. When I I edit my videos free through software I have on my computer. I don't need to buy Premiere to edit videos and stuff like that. Is it as good? Probably not, but it's things where people would rather do it for cheaper than to pay more for it. So Adobe's one of those ones where it's being heavily impacted negatively right now by AI, which I am kind of shocked to believe, but that's kind of where it's at right now.
I'm gonna say this about Adobe. Adobe got about $100 more to the downside until it completely falls apart. So
Okay.
as of right now, like everything below this 338 level, and
Mm-hmm.
this is a 12-month time frame. So these are yearly counters. This isn't a new territory for Adobe. Not saying that it's gonna recover, not saying that it's not, but what I'm telling you is what I just pretty much what I'm seeing. These are
Mm-hmm.
where Adobe prices get bought in at. We saw it in 2020, we saw it in 2022, and we saw it in 2023. So these aren't foreign waters where we're at right now for Adobe as of right now. So,
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that was all pre AI,
mm,
the 20 and the
Correct.
23. So
hmm
I would think it's really got to only be downside from here because Fridge is dead on. Why pay for it when so much of the stuff's free now?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you would have to do again is Adobe has to find a way to innovate themselves to get back into the competitive game. Like Microsoft, Meta, like they're dumping billions of dollars into AI. They're doubling, tripling down on AI, on that kind of technology to help expand their company, to help grow it, to help them get to the next level.
Edge.
Adobe has to do the same thing to give them that edge. Exactly. If
Yeah.
Adobe just stays stagnant and you don't see new products, like that's going to be a problem. Like, so I'll tell you right now, for one example, for me, as someone who has, who runs the YouTube, my own YouTube channel, I use Adobe software because Adobe has a really good audio suppressant feature where I take my audio that records my video and I put it into it, and it takes out all the white noise, all the background stuff, so it sounds like a pure podcast. So that's why my voice sounds really, really clear through it. I use it for that, but I can promise you there's probably some AI software out there that's really good. The only reason why I use it is because Adobe is a top quality name. It's been in the business for years, and it's also free. That's the only reason why. If they start charging me, if they start charging for that kind of feature, I'm getting out and going somewhere else. So Adobe has to think of a way to utilize AI to put them back ahead of the game and give them an edge. If you don't get that kind of movement in the next, couple earnings reports about where they're going moving forward, this thing is in some serious trouble, in my opinion.
Yeah. Is there any other company, that startup company, possibly, and you might not know this, I'm not expecting an answer, but is there anybody that they could possibly buy out in the future?
I mean, if you're talking like sound, I mean, I guess you could probably do SoundHound AI, maybe, but I know they're thriving by themselves right now. They're not profitable yet. They had really good earnings though, and they were up like 25-30% after hours. So, I mean, I don't know how likely of an acquisition that would be. I don't know what they would do with that kind of, technology, but they're like $1 billion market cap, or a couple billion, I think, if I'm not mistaken. SoundHound is, but that's my first thinking would be that. I think I'm probably way out of the ballpark on that one. The market cap's like 5 billion, yeah, so maybe not them. But I mean, starting off somewhere with some acquisitions would definitely be helpful for them to help get them to the next level. But they need that product because, again, like every day, like there's people that use Oculus Clips, which is a really good one for AI generation. That one's free. There's NVIDIA AI, which is another one that makes shorts, TikToks, whatever. That one has a free trial as well that you can do, or not a free trial, but it's a free use. You don't get all the features, but it's a free use. There's so many of these new AIs that are coming out that are very, very good, and they're only going to get better as if we feed more and more of it. It will only get better as a program. I think maybe you're right. I think maybe an acquisition would definitely be helpful for them. I don't know what they could do for innovating. Otherwise, if I did, I'd probably work for Adobe. But they got to do something. There's got to be a turnaround somehow. I mean, being down 20. If you told me they're down 25%, but SPY is up, I think 8% now in the year, like that's crazy to me because Adobe was one of those heavy hitters that was up there. It was not Mag 7, but it wasn't too far away. Now I just think it's kind of gotten lost in the market. I don't really hear much about Adobe anymore.
I was going to
And look
ask
how
it. Is it?
expensive it is. Why would you buy a stock that high when there's so many? I mean, shit, Nvidia is only what, 150, 160? I don't know what
I think it's like
Nvidia's at
180. I think
right
it's like
now.
180
It
now.
said 182.
So
Yeah.
why would you pay 3.5 or 350 for a stock that it doesn't have the edge when you could buy, 2 shares or almost three of Nvidia?
I wonder would a stock split help make this
That
more
might.
attractive?
That might.
It definitely could.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I think at a lower price point, you definitely bring in more buyers, which
for
definitely
sure.
helps their overall
Hmm.
financial position.
I mean,
Do
they're
they do
trading at a peak.
buybacks?
What was that,
Hello?
Carly?
Do they do buybacks? Did they do a buyback with their last earnings?
Not with their last. I don't think so because they would have done a lot better probably as a return. I feel like usually buybacks are bullish.
Yeah, that's what I was
So I don't
asking.
I don't think so. I mean, but cause it looks like they didn't have a really that good of a report with their earnings. They have earnings coming up. Royalty. When is
They
that?
have earnings 9/10, so September
Oh,
Oh,
10th.
okay.
so a month out.
Yet. Okay.
But I mean,
So
they haven't had a red earnings since 2018.
2018. Yeah, that's
Wow.
crazy. Well,
I
so
think
they're trading at a PE of 21, almost 22. Like they're not even like an overvalued compared to like Nvidia. Nvidia's PE is like in the 30s, maybe the 40s, and they're like a 22 PE ratio right now. So they're not like it's not like one of those like overvalued companies. Like when you think of like we see a lot of companies that are like there's a lot of valuation that they have to make up for. Like for example, I hate to use it, but Palantir, their PE is like 600 and something. Like that's
Oh my
absolutely insane.
God.
Yeah. That's
So much,
exactly what I was
and
gonna
and
say.
and and people just love it, right? And that's totally fine. I get it. Palantir, they're innovating, and I love what they're doing for like the defense sector and stuff like that. Sure, Tesla's PE is like 150-ish. Last time I saw it, which was a little while ago. So again, still a pretty high valuation. Nvidia, Google, they're like 30s to 40-ish. Adobe's at like 22. And that's
And
not like super overvalued compared to, again, Adobe goes with NVIDIA and stuff like that. So compared to their sector, they're probably in a pretty decent valuation right now. I just I just think people are seeing like, why should I go to Adobe and buy into it when I can buy into Palantir, I can buy into NVIDIA, like Harley's saying. Like, why do that? If Adobe offered a dividend, sure. Like even NVIDIA has a dividend, so you get even like a 0.001% return back on your money or whatever it is. But even offering that, like, still gives people more incentive to buy into it. So I don't see Adobe really doing much right now. They need to do something, but it's um I'm gonna see if I can do anything, find anything about buybacks or something like that. Let me see if I can find anything for you, royalty.
Why you looking at
Shoot.
speaking about Palantir? Hey, this Palantir gonna have to stock split within the next 2 years.
At the rate it's going, yeah, 100%.
I
well,
will say,
it's going to have to
no,
prove
go
some of
ahead, go
this
ahead.
valuation also.
Yeah. What were you saying, Pronga?
I think I know we've moved on from Adobe, but I feel like, Adobe's going to adapt and they're not going anywhere. And I feel like it could potentially be even a leap opportunity, in my opinion. Maybe
Really?
not right now, but eventually. I don't know.
I
They're
like
down
it.
pretty good.
I
Mhm.
like
I
Adobe
like
here. I mean, not going from, I'm oblivious to the news for the most part. You know,
Yeah, so am I. So am I.
I live and die by the charts. And then I catch the news whenever it comes out. Like nobody knew Apple was gonna do what it was gonna do, but we was in. So right now, I mean, just looking at the chart right now, we see a bounce here, bounce here, bounce here. I mean, support is coming up. Even if you wanted to just, I made the post and I see it by shares, just because I didn't really look at the options chain to see, you know, how the Greeks were set up and how the spreads were. Spreads probably low if I mean the spreads are probably wide if it's not a lot of volume, trading volume going on. But I mean right here, 332 is a support level. Even if you bought shares here, I've been doing a lot of $100 buying shares. Telling people just put $100 because most people don't mind airing out $100 on an options contract when they could be airing out $100 on shares for something and still have that money left over. Even if it does dip, you're not losing nothing until you sell it. So if you're having issues with options, well then let's go buy shares. So that way that money don't go nowhere. But anyways,
Or
e-
leverage ETFs.
oh yeah, or leverage ETFs.
That's
But
my favorite,
if it drops below
especially with
332, it can go to 311, it can go to 302, it can go to 294, it can go to 268. But regardless,
him.
just like Perunga was saying, I mean Adobe is like it's there. I mean, even though it's trying well, I don't know if it's trying to. In my head, it's trying to innovate. If it was trying to buy Figma, you're doing something to try to you know add some value to your company. I mean, look at Nvidia. Every month we see Nvidia buying another company, another company, another company. I
Or
mean,
invest in them.
if Adobe does something and we just don't know about it yet, in this white box at these levels, this could be the opportunity to buy something. And like I said, if it breaks and fails this box, then that's the confirmation for it to continue to fall to the wayside, to the base side.
Mm.
But until the stock price actually shows me this, you have to, well, I have to consider it a level to buy until it fails me. So, like I said, it's a lot of ways this can play out. I mean, this could be one of the situations like United Healthcare to where it just keeps
Mhm.
falling. But we'll deal with that when it shows itself. So, Fridge, you was looking something up. Have you found it, bro?
I was trying to look to see what they have. So like the big thing that Adobe uses is what's called Firefly AI, and it's pretty okay. I've looked into it and I've used it. I just started using it a little bit. So you can make like images and stuff like that. So it's trying to compete with them in that way. People are saying don't count out Adobe yet, but again, like I feel like there's like that built up pressure behind the stock of like the AI. Is it going to run behind AI? You know, just for example, remember when Apple came out and is like they had like their like I forgot what kind of meeting it was. It was like a technology like reveal or whatever. I don't know. They call it something stupid. I don't know what it is. But like they kind of made it seem like their AI was like a back burner for them, and then the stock like reacted to that for a little while before it kind of rebounded when it did some acquisitions of I forgot who they bought out or they were talking about buying out. But you know, if there's no real urgency to show them adapting more AI into their company, that's where I think the downside pressure is going to come from is through the adaptability here. So Adobe, again, they're a over with $100 billion company, but you know they're not going to collapse within the next maybe 6 months, 12 months. But they do have to start like innovating something. But the Firefly thing is pretty okay. I mean, is it free to use? It's free to use, but you got to pay to get more. Some people are saying that their subscriptions are up, which is good. But again, like even though their subscriptions are up, their stock is down for the year. So I don't
Stock
know how much you can use that for things right now because I think it's just so much.
stock definitely
And
down.
God only knows what happens. Like, what happens if OpenAI goes public? Think about where the money's going to
It's
flow into. If
it's
OpenAI goes
not.
public, I know it's not, but imagine if it did. Imagine like on the off chance, like more private companies like that are AI based come out more and more. Like where's the money going to flow to? If Adobe's not innovating, then who knows what will happen?
No, it's fair. No, sorry. I just wanted to like make sure that wasn't like the point because I saw an interview with Sam Altman the other day. He was like, as much as we would like to, no, we're not going public.
Is that like? Do you think that's like for like he will never ever go public, or do you think it's like in the near future? How do you feel
Uh,
about it?
for the way that it sounded in this interview, it was for the I'll call it foreseeable future,
Okay.
definitely near future. But it seems like he wants to do both, but he's leaning towards keeping it private.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, but we take a look at if more and more, you could type in like on a Weeble, like AI as just not even a ticker, just type in AI and like you have Tempest AI, you have SoundHound AI. Like there's all these AI, companies and softwares that are coming out, and what's going to stop people from flooding into those, trying to get the next NVIDIA, trying to get the next whatever.
I'm
Adobe's got to
actually
make a move somehow.
I'm actually in FFAI, so I would love to see
FFAI,
them get.
great. Another
I would
AI
love to see
thing.
them get bought out.
Yeah,
Wait,
so
Zach, I will say what BBAI, what is
yeah,
CP?
BB AI, yep, BlackBerry AI, yep, that's another one. Or Big Bear AI.
Big
Sorry.
Just
Bear,
AI is
Big
another
Bear.
one.
What is Purunga?
Just AI. I don't know what they do, but that's just a ticker AI on its own.
There's there's a ticker
There's C3 AI, right?
LIDR, which is
Yeah,
also
C3 AI. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
C3II.
have you guys seen the Yield Max? I bought in a little bit, like probably about a month or so ago, but it's a AI right here.
It's
AI,
an AI yield max.
yeah.
I follow
Interesting.
its trades daily, and it's really, really, really interesting what they're buying. I have become addicted to watching Yield Max's trades that they post, especially with Ulti, because it's really interesting. They've started buying UVix, and so it
Huh.
gives me an inside window into what smart money thinks is going to happen. I love it. It's one of the
Yeah.
coolest things out there.
I've been alerting, like I said earlier, I've been alerting ULTY buys all week. Um, we started buying it here, but anything under 604 is a buy. Next support level is this $6 mark. Because as you can see, when it was that August 1st, It was at 5.95 and it got about straight up. So the only
Yeah.
reason why I'm big on this right now is because I just see how consistent it is as far as the consolidation. Like bigger picture, look how strong this consolidation was between.
Yeah.
Their trades are really incredible. It really is really impressive what they do in it, and it's quite diverse. The hedging strategies are really impressive. I bought it for the first time because after watching the trade so much, it gave me confidence that even if the market were to take a downturn, it's not going to tank. I think they'll be able to keep it buoyed pretty well. I'm not a huge fan of these yield max things, but watching the trades, I'm in on this one. I got a pretty big position.
And that's one thing about yield max. It's certain ones that I'm willing to, talk about putting your money in. Um,
Yeah.
I talked to Fish a while ago about MSTY, and it's almost, well, it's close to it, but I remember for a while I've been wanting this to come down to this level right here, below this $20 level, and we're here. So um, I think right now, if you're gonna buy a Misty, I wouldn't sell. Even if you bought in high, I wouldn't sell here. I would actually turn on the drip and allow the drip to reinvest at these lower levels here, even if it drops down to like mid $17. Um, it's definitely a opportunity to buy in a lot cheaper. Look when the last time we hit these levels, April and March, and eventually it
Hmm.
shot right back up to $25. So
Right.
you can drip the earnings right now back into it if it consolidates here. And by the time it decides to run again with MSTR, if it doesn't start tomorrow, you're gonna be good. You'll have a nice DCA, and then you can take those monthly dividends that come from it, and you can throw that in something else.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been using the dividends like I paid out every week, and I've been buying up my crypto portfolio. So I've been buying up to like BTC, Ethereum, XRP. So I'm taking that and putting it more towards what I'm believing long term in crypto. So far it's worked. Those the amount of money I've put in. It's like it comes out to be like 70, $80 a week, but it goes into my crypto portfolio and it's building up pretty nicely so far already.
Nice, nice.
That's awesome, man. That's exactly what I do with my Misty divs. Well, not exactly, but I take my cash from my Misty divs, and then I use it for positions that I'm long on.
And
Yep, lock
that's
up long term.
easy. That's easy. You can take the money that you get. Well, first you can build a foundation, like using ULTY to build a foundation, just because it pays weekly. So
Right.
a lot of, well, I'm not gonna say a lot of people, but there's people who have the capital to start a position in ULTY while it's cheap right now, and haven't been in the market for 10, 12 years. I mean, there's some new investors that hop in the market with $5,000, $6,000. You can take that
Mhm.
and build a foundation for your portfolio into something that's going to pay you a weekly dividend, and then you could take that money that you're getting from ULTY or any dividend for that most part, and take that and you can put that into other stuff. You don't have to constantly
Yeah.
be taking losses. And if you just need to take a break, hey, I'm gonna take a break for a week and still get something added to my portfolio on Friday.
Hmm.
Right.
And I think the way to look at it also, which is nice, like for example, so like right now I'm looking at about like 5,000 between ULTY and YMAX, which is like
Hmm.
the universe like yield max. And I made sure also to like not have the funds, the ETFs overlap. I make sure to look into like their holdings, and there's like one or two that overlap, but thankfully it's different. So that way I don't get like because like what would be the point in buying into YMAX if I could just put more into ULTY? But there's no overlap really for those two, so it still gives you that diversification part in the ETFs. But I got like 5,000 sitting between both these together. If I can take those dividends, put into crypto, and my crypto portfolio goes to over 5,000, then I'm up on my money then. ULTY can go to zero, and I would still be up because my crypto positions are over $5,000 now. That I'm still up overall because of that. So being able to park in those longer term assets, all it takes is a matter of time now before my crypto goes over 5Gs. Once it goes over that 5G mark, ULTY goes to zero. I still would be up on it overall, and it won't go to zero, obviously, like not anytime soon. So that's how I look at it. Think about it from like right now. It's going to build you up, so that way every dividend you get paid out, the less money you need to like basically break even, essentially.
It's so many ways to get money out the market. You just have to be smart about it and just be
Mm-hmm.
educated about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like we're all just giving out free gems on different ways to implement leverage your dollar inside the market. So there's no reason
Right.
why somebody can't get something.
Absolutely,
So
dude. 100%.
I want to make this little point too. So, let's say you get a monthly dividend of, we'll call it $500, just to keep it a nice round number. So you get a $500 dividend, and this is $500 extra, so to speak. And you've been looking at a company that maybe you wanted to go into, maybe you didn't. Well, now you've got this $500 dividend. Maybe you take that or a portion of it and you go into that company that you were thinking about going into, because in my eyes, those are free shares that you're starting off your position with.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Exactly.
that that's one thing that I did recently, and I'm extremely happy that I did it.
Y'all start talking about that. I didn't pull up Meta Planet just to see how the chart looks
Woo!
on that.
Yeah, well,
I
it's
mean,
it, it, it it's a buyer's time, that's for sure.
I'm gonna say instead of $7 support, next support on the net is about like mid 535. So this is definitely the buying opportunity right now, like you just said. I mean, you're getting a nice little downtrend, but if it's something that you believe in, if it drops below and it starts hitting $5, I would start scooping up.
Mm-hmm.
If it
I,
goes to that level, I will absolutely be DCAing 100%.
I
I'm
mean,
extremely bullish on Metaplanet. I've said it from the very first buy, from my very first mention of it. It for me, it's a 5-year hold minimum. I'm long term on it. I have a feeling that I'm getting in on the ground floor of what is going to be the Japanese version of MicroStrategy.
that's something to believe in. If you got conviction, hey, go for it. Definitely go for it. I've been looking at it to see if it's something that I want to add to my chasing now since it's at these levels. Cause I'm always just weird. I'm paranoid. I ain't gonna lie to you. When stocks start running too high, I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'll wait till it consolidates for a little bit. Then I decide whether it's something I want to start in. And right now, the way Meta Planet looks, I mean, it's been having a trickle downtrend. But I honestly think that, just from listening to everything that it has to offer from you, um, I think it'd be a dope time to start a position here. I was drawing out the last level of just consolidation before it pumped up, and it's right around here at the 535 mark. So if it retests anywhere below this white box I have here, I mean it's a very good buying opportunity anywhere within this white box. So definitely interesting. I wanted to ask simply because we always gonna need a catalyst in order to reverse the market back to the downside. Is anything going on as far as like Federal Reserve, Trump, anything that you guys probably can comes to mind as far as what could shift the narrative as far as this uptrend that we have in the market and push it back down?
I'm thinking globally, and what I'm thinking is it's multi-tiered. You have, and again, not getting political, strictly talking about how things will affect the market. You have Israel saying that they're moving in to go and do more occupation of of Gaza, where the Palestinians live. So they are advancing their war effort, if you will. We've got Trump meeting with President Putin of Russia to demand a ceasefire in Ukraine, which Putin has already said not going to happen. So I think once that happens, it will put a little bit of fear in the market. Along, both of those things coupled together could definitely put some fear in the market, and I think it'll send some jitters.
There's a lot of things going on that could go terribly wrong. Um, it's it's a little bit scary because there are some big geopolitical things. This whole Russia Ukraine thing is a in my eyes it's a big deal, and the market made no reaction to it. But over the weekend, because Russia is saying that the only way they'll do a ceasefire is if Ukraine gives up the territory that they have taken already. And first off, don't trust a fucking word Putin says. You know, you know what's going to happen is well, first off, Europe is fully backing Ukraine, and Ukraine said no way, and Europe said no way, they can't have that area because they know that just inches Putin closer and deeper towards their countries. You know, it would be a bad idea. So, and then this idea that Trump is meeting with Putin without Ukraine, it's not that, and without Europe as well, just the two of them is not going to get anything accomplished. And that I feel like this could get really ugly and cause problems even more so with us with Europe.
It very much could cause a lot of problems with us with Europe. With us getting involved, and Trump making these demands. Who knows? You got to remember that Europe gets a lot of their oil from Russia as well,
I was
and Trump
just
is
finna ask you that. I was just finna say, is anything affecting oil and gas?
This
yes,
will a lot.
yes. So, well, actually, Carly, I'll let you speak on it
Yeah,
if
no,
if you'd like to.
the oil thing's really interesting because China gets a lot of oil from Russia. Um, there's another country that it was supposed to be part of the tariff deal, that they wouldn't sign a tariff deal unless they stopped getting oil from Russia. And God, can anybody remember what country it was? Because the country said, "Screw you, we're still going to get our oil from Russia."
Was
I,
it Germany, perhaps?
I don't. I feel like it was an Asian country, but I can't remember. But there are a lot of countries that still get their oil from Russia, and
Well, I know
um,
China's still going to get some oil from Russia.
they're always going to. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
they really are friends, and
Yes,
with Iraq and North Korea, they really are all buddies.
yes.
Um, but I cannot remember what that other country was. Sorry, but yeah, this will, especially if if they come to a quote unquote ceasefire, the price of oil is gonna dump, because then that means everything's cleaned up, and there's people can still buy oil from Russia or whatever it works out. But if it doesn't, I would expect oil to go up. Regardless, oil should move with this news. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, it's at a
That I
very,
said in
very
a very
pivotal.
long way.
I don't say, yeah, oil is at a very pivotal point right now. It's
Very
approaching.
much so.
Yeah, it's approaching support here. Well, when I say oil, I'm looking at Exxon. and that's normally the one I trade mostly. But it's approaching support at like 103, and it's at 106 now. After having that nice little run back up to retest or attempt to retest the 120 levels, but like you said, this
Can you pull,
news, hmm
can can you pull up USO?
USO, okay,
Yeah, that's
yes,
what I would look at.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean the
Yeah, use those
charts
the one.
kind of similar, because we both seeing these long period of consolidate sideways consolidation.
Yep.
So we do have a gap that's unfilled for USO around 68 to 67.45. So I wouldn't be surprised if that news moved it. Um,
It would.
and this is kind of like that temporary floor that is
Old
trading at
pattern.
right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, once this breaks and it doesn't reclaim the support level right here, then yeah, we'll probably see it roll over down to this mid $60 level, 68 to $67 level, and then something will probably happen that'll drive the price back up to retest this what used to be floor turn ceiling now, and then we go from there. So that's very
And
interesting.
I like the leverage products on this. There's WTIU, which is WTI up, and then WTID is down. Those are the two that I like to play the best. W
Okay.
W maybe it's
WTID,
WIT. Yeah. It's
WTID.
WTI. Let me see here. Try WIT. I is in indigo. D no, WITD as in down. No?
What is it? Is it supposed to
It's
be
a
for
leverage
oil?
product. Yeah. Yep. I gotta pull it up. Hold on here.
There it is. It was at the top. Oil D.
Oh,
Did you
oil.
find it?
Well, we found something oil U and oil D.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. One's up and one's down. So
Oh,
one's a
okay.
bull and one's a bear.
Okay.
The U is the bull. You think prices are going to go up. The D is the, oh, yeah, that's actually a different one. But that one's good too.
Oh, now you're talking my language with these inverse tickers. Love it.
Yeah.
You
It's so
show
much
me,
better than options right now. You just can't trust options right now. It's too dangerous.
yeah,
And
you show me an inverse ticker. I can make it work.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna add these to I'm gonna add these to one of my watch lists.
Hold on. I'm going to get another good one for you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna add those too, and we're gonna start watching those. Just to see if we can get some traction built on trading the oil and gas.
Yeah, WTID and WTIU. It's the microsectors, energy, the inverse, and the bulls
Okay.
and the bears. Yeah.
Yeah, you showed me the right one.
Okay.
Okay.
Because those,
On
I think those will move because it's going to be a difference of if Russia gets sanctions put on it and people start buying oil from us, our oil companies are going to benefit the most from that. So sometimes I just play straight oil, but sometimes I want to go with the oil companies. And I think this could be a situation where it's either going to be really good for oil countries or companies or really bad for oil companies.
right now it's looking real bad unless it gaps up pretty soon.
Well, it's all going to matter what depend upon what happens with Russia and Trump and Ukraine.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. That'll definitely be something that I'm gonna keep an eye on. All right. Well, is there anything interesting that you guys been keeping an eye on? I know we watched Apple. I know we. How do we feel about Hood? Is Hood Palantir? Is it overextended yet? And will it ever come down?
Man, I had some hood calls that I sold entirely too early because I was up like 90%.
I remember it
Sold.
was it was like a 105 call, wasn't it?
It was what was it? It was a 110. Yeah, it was a 110.
Okay.
8:15. So I had plenty of time. And man, the return on it was just too good. I had to secure the bag. You know what I mean? Got to secure the profits. That's what it's all about, right? Well, man, then I go to trade on Friday, and I started looking, and I was like, what is this price? You know, and then I look at what it closed at in aftermarket on Friday, and I'm like, where, you know, like where is it going to stop? That's the question. Is it going to open at 120? I don't know. I just don't know.
Bro, did you see the message where I said Hood runs on Fridays?
Oh man, yeah, exactly. No, I didn't see that, unfortunately.
When did I post that? I talked about it. Let me see if I can go back because I don't remember exactly what the price was. Let's see.
But yeah, when I saw those gains, I was like, you know, I really want to keep these contracts. Maybe I'll just sell one and keep a runner. And then I was like, you know, I really need to be smart about this and just take the profits because that's what this is about. You know, the percentage was way above my trading plan, anyways, so it's a win.
I was trying to see
I could have.
what price it was trading at when I was alerting it, but it's definitely moved. It's like every Friday. Every Friday you see Hood wake up around Thursday afternoon, and then Friday is just like if you're not on this train, it's too late. We gone. And so it looked damn good Friday. What was that, Carla?
Probably because a lot of people get paid on Fridays, so retailers
Mm-hmm.
are
Yeah,
we know
yeah,
there's
probably.
kind of a
Yeah.
demographic that trades Hood and it's retail, you know.
Right?
So
Because yeah, this
probably
Friday, last Friday went from 95 to 101, and then this Friday it went from 101 to shit 114.
Jesus, Mary Joseph.
Yeah. Oh my, oh my.
What else used to trade like that on Friday? Was it
Tesla, baby,
Tesla?
Tesla.
Tesla used to run on
Yeah.
Fridays and then gap up crazy on Mondays.
It was nuts. I mean, there was a 3 month period I remember where you could buy because you know Tesla doesn't do any zero DTEs. So if you don't have the money to buy a call on a Monday for a weekly or buy a call for a couple days out and you want to be super risky, and I mean super risky, you go ahead and buy essentially a Tesla zero DTE. You buy it Friday morning, but it without fail worked every Friday for like 3 months in a row. It seemed like it was every Friday for 3 months in a row. I'm sure there was a couple of red ones in
I
there.
don't know. Shit, it seemed like you said. It seemed like you just wake up and Tesla be up $25 on a Monday.
Yeah,
Like what the
yeah,
hell? So I mean, Tesla one of the ones you just never know. Like um, buy shares, hold it. I mean, if you like Tesla, then whenever Tesla drops, you can buy some of those and get that monthly dividend off of that. But I want to see Tesla. I want to see Elon focus on Tesla, and I want to see Tesla make his way back to like 500. I don't know if we'll see
I
that.
wouldn't be complaining.
I, oh yeah, because you got some Tesla, don't you?
Yes, I bought them out of high school.
wow, smart
Yeah,
man.
that's my dad, man. My dad's like, hey, you should probably just buy some of this. I was like, all right, sure. So, you
You
know.
got it, Dad. No problem. We'll do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
exactly.
hey,
Yeah.
you know what? Thanks, Dad. Appreciate that. You know?
Yes. Yeah.
That was his gift. He passed that down, and you sit nicely years later. So that's
That's true.
that's super dope. So
All
well,
right. Tesla to 6,000. How about
There we
that?
go.
we talked about something a little bit before we started going live on 401k and pensions. Um,
Crypto.
Yes.
I'm not sure how
Fridge.
far it goes, how deep it goes, but I think Fridge was breaking it down pretty good. You got some more info on that, bro?
Yeah, dude. I mean, when I was like, yeah, I've been looking at these, like, I've been researching for 20 minutes straight. It was me finding all the information about it that I could about it. Do you want me to share like what I've got like on my screen, or what are you feeling?
Yeah, you can share it on the screen.
All right, let me see. Let me show you what I got here. I did a lot of research on this here.
Okay.
So I got my screen up now, so you can take a look at a couple of things, a little bit of research on things here. The first thing, and I'll try to hopefully not bore you guys to death here with my explanations. Uh, the idea behind it is allowing 401ks to get into private equities, whether it's infrastructure, real estate, crypto, and that's why you saw a huge pump in crypto as of recently, on like Thursday, Friday, was because Trump was putting the executive order in to allow 401ks to start to diversify. So this was the major part about how pensions versus 401ks really work, and it's by BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, who has so much more knowledge and money than I do, that has no idea of what's going on compared to what he says here. But instead of going into a 60-40 split between stocks and bonds, he's thinking that maybe it could be a 50-30-20, where it's stocks, bonds, and private assets like real estate, infrastructure, private credit, so on and so forth. And part of this article, he talks about how pensions have outperformed the 401ks by about 0.5% per year. But again, think about like 30 years time, you'd be looking at about a 15% gain on your investment more with pensions compared to 401ks. And he talks about how 401k providers don't really know how to invest in private equities, so they don't tend to do it in that way. And so I thought, wow, Larry Fink's a really smart guy here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to find exactly what Larry Fink wrote about back in April to his investors on BlackRock. And believe it or not, so the major thing he talked about with private equity is you're looking at private companies, like OpenAI potentially, SpaceX, like those ones. You got infrastructure, which I didn't realize how much of a market there was in infrastructure, but there is. Crypto and real estate was like the bigger ones. He's projecting that the infrastructure by 2040 is going to be investments up to $68 trillion. And I love this analogy here that he wrote. Is equivalent to building the entire interstate highway system in the U.S. and the transcontinental railroad, start to finish, every 6 weeks for the next 15 years. That is how much money there is potentially going to be in infrastructure and how much of an impact it could have on our U.S. economy. Those numbers are absolutely insane. The highway systems are run throughout the country. The railroad, same thing. You started every 6 weeks. You're done every 6 weeks for 15 straight years. That's how much valuation is in infrastructure. And he breaks it down even more into roads, energy, railroads, telecom, water, so on and so forth.
If they included like data center infrastructure, would that be a part of that
I believe
basket?
that might be part in the telecom section right here, maybe in something
Oh,
along the lines of
okay.
that is what my guess would be. Maybe something else along the lines of that. I'm not really quite sure.
I was just curious about that. If it was
Yeah,
old
so
school infrastructure or what we think of now with AI infrastructure.
right. Yeah, so there's a lot of money that's going to be pumping into infrastructure, right? So you have all this money going into infrastructure, which is absolutely insane, which I didn't even know about. He goes into talking more about private markets and how it is. And even most companies in the US are private companies comparatively to public, as you can see by more data he's got here. Obviously, the US has more public traded companies than other parts in the world. But still, there's a lot of money and a lot of people that make a crap ton of money in private equity in those private markets, right? So then I was like, okay, let me go even further into this because this is what Fridge Financials does when he has nothing better to do is to just research all these different things here. I found the PowerPoint presentation that he refers to back in 2022 on BlackRock and how private equity and investments can make a huge difference. And so what he talks about here is that what you'll notice is that in this figure here, in 1995, investors could meet return objectives through fixed income in cash in 1995 with a 7% return. To meet that same target today in 2025 requires an allocation to private equity, into private markets, which is now needed. As you can see, we've had more money going to public equities, but now private markets are needed as well. And the huge thing behind this, which is why, again, people are so optimistic about investing into private markets and how pensions do well compared to 401ks, is that when you include private equity and private investments in here, it actually de-risks your portfolio and increases your annualized returns. That is the best case scenario that you can get. You not only de-risk your investments, but you also increase your annualized returns. So it's very interesting that he breaks it down this way. And this is why people talk about why crypto pumped up pretty much, because again, crypto is one of those assets that you can not really get into your 401k, but this executive order could make a huge difference. And why the prices went up, again, if people are able to have access to invest in crypto in their 401ks, that creates more demand, which pumps prices even higher. So that's why you saw that optimism in the markets overall as a result. And again, the idea that you can de-risk your portfolio because you're diversifying it and also increase the return, that's a win-win situation. If anybody could tell you to your face that I can de-risk your portfolio and increase the percent return, you'd be thinking they're nuts. But that's what private equity allows people to do because it's diversified, but it also maximizes your returns, which I think is absolutely amazing. So if this executive order is finalized and it goes through, because I think it's in the draft works right now, it could be a huge difference and a huge impact positively on 401ks to be up there with pension funds. Because pension funds have been doing it for many years, 401ks have not. 401ks are usually like your target date funds, your stocks and bonds usually split that you have. But pensions, they just get all this money in there and they're able to be more aggressive with it. And pension funds usually are better because it's a fixed payment no matter what when you get pension. So like for me as an educator, when I retire, I get a fixed payment in my pension plan that goes out. No matter what the market does, I get a fixed payment, unlike the 401k, which is a little bit different. So huge news here, which I think is absolutely a good thing. The biggest problem that they break down in these articles is liquidity. When you're getting into private markets and whatever investments you're looking at, that are alternate investments, the problem compared to public traded markets is liquidity. Being able to buy and sell when you need to is easy with Apple stock, with Tesla, with Nvidia. But when you're looking at private equity, where not everybody might have access to it, that's why it's private equities, right? When not everybody has access to it and only certain people do, there's a lot less buying and selling. There's a lot less shares available. It's harder to buy, to sell. And so the biggest problem that they come up with is that idea of like, what happens if you switch jobs? Well, you got to roll your 401k over. To roll your 401k over, you got to close it. To close it, you got to sell off your positions, which would be private equity included in there. So it's a lot of really interesting things here. But honestly, to me, very fascinating for someone who's looking at retirement in 30 years. Like, this is a game changer where it can hopefully maximize your returns. And they don't even say the full pour. It's a full pour into private equities. Larry Fink says, hey, do a 50-30-20, where you basically, take away from your stocks and bonds and put it into private assets. And as we know, real estate usually is increasing, and it's inflationary resistant with real estate. Infrastructure is always growing, private equities, all that kind of stuff is a really good tool to have in your portfolios. So very interesting. Not sure if half of this made sense to you guys. You guys can obviously tell me if it does or not. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts or ideas about it, but very fascinating news that came out Thursday into Friday about this, and I'm excited for it. I think it's awesome. It's gonna be great for markets. That's what I got.
Well, I'll just let you know that as you were talking about that, I was just looking at the Bitcoin chart. Um, Maybe I'm wrong on this. It's my understanding that the Bitcoin chart closes at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
If I'm right on that, it was my understanding that we needed to close above 118 in order to go for the next leg up, and it looks like we're going to close above 119. So hopefully we do get a little bit of a hold going into the week, which would be nice.
What time is it?
That's
Okay,
awesome.
so because the 24-hour market is about to open in what, 4 minutes?
Yeah. 4 minutes. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. So
Yes.
when the 24-hour market opens is when the Bitcoin, uh, not the daily candle, obviously, but the daily.
It should be the day. Well, I have to look at the that actual trading view to see to look at the timer
Mm-hmm.
on the
Yeah.
daily candle.
Like I said, this is what I believe, but I may be wrong about that 8 p.m. mark.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
daily. Well, no. That's yeah. So the daily candle only has about 2 minutes left.
Okay, so it is 8 p.m. All right,
Yeah,
perfect. Thank you for confirming. I appreciate that.
yeah. So it has 2 minutes left.
Yeah. So
I
I
want
don't
to
know.
see
I mean,
Microsoft gap up. My bad, Fridge. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, I don't know if you guys, are like you are excited. I don't know if you guys have like royalty because what is your retirement? Is it a 401k or is it something else?
Yeah, it's 401k.
Okay,
They took away the pension feature. I think like
gotcha.
pre 80 or something like that. So actually
Uh,
the last guy in my building actually just retired early this year, and he was probably one of the
mhm.
last ones that was on the actual pension plan. So
Oh wow. So how
yeah.
would you feel about if you could be able to take your 401k and put it into private equities and stuff like that? Would that be something that you'd be for, or are you against that, or what are your thoughts on that kind of idea?
I mean, honestly, coming from him, I think my opinion, I think pension plans are just the way the is what I would take. It just sounds more solid. You know, it doesn't have too. It
Yeah.
doesn't sound like it has too many holes
Hmm.
that are risk your retirement funds. You know,
Right.
regardless of what the market does, like you said,
Hmm.
you still gonna get a set amount for retirement. Meanwhile, you know, my 401k is reflected through the stock market. So
Hmm.
if I got 10 years or 5 years, left until retirement, I really don't want my 401k mirroring the market because you don't know what could
Right.
happen within that 5 years and all of a sudden your 401k go from this amount down to this amount
Hmm.
and you panicking now because you know it's not the same at the time. So
Yeah, I think that's the big thing where it's like, like if your horizon is, 5, 10 years and, don't want, then I wouldn't recommend it. But, if you're looking at like 20, 30 years, on times on your side still, I feel like it's still a speculative play, but it still could have the benefits of, getting into crypto, getting into, real estate, getting into infrastructure and stuff like that. If you look at 20, 30 years, I feel like it might not be a bad, investment to kind of diversify your portfolio a little bit.
definitely, like all the stuff that happened at the beginning of the year. I'm
Mhm.
not worried about it. I got plenty of time on my side, to
Yeah,
allow this to come back into play. But
right.
like I said, the guy that retired earlier this year, good thing he had pension because if not, and his 401k would have took a massive drop like that. He might
Mhm.
have to wait another year to retire to see if he can wait it out and get some of that money back.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Fish, what do you think about that? I mean, do you have a 401k, Fish, or I'm not going to be personal, but do you have 401k or pension or what?
So I can't really. Well, I mean, it's not that I can't. I won't go into much detail publicly about it.
Yeah, 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 of course.
But what I will say is, uh, at one time, yes, I was getting a 401k through an employer. Um, I am no longer eligible for a 401k or pension, and it's not due to unemployment or anything like that. There are certain rules around retirement plans, and there once you reach certain levels, you're no longer eligible for these programs.
Okay.
That's about enough.
Yeah.
As much as I want to say.
But it really
No,
don't
yeah,
matter
dude.
because Fish got all his he got his own personal 401k MSTR. So
Yeah.
bro got
There you go.
calls,
Right.
bro got shares, bro
You
got dividends. I mean,
got it all, dude.
hey,
He's got a Bitcoin miner at his house. He's got
bro,
that going
bro
up,
got
and
all
that's
of
real
that.
estate infrastructure. I hear
Yeah.
that, dude.
So
So,
yeah,
Fish, let me ask you this though, right? So, in
Yeah.
theory, right? Let's say that you were,
By
21,
the way,
graduated high school, graduated college, whatever, and you
yeah.
got a 401k like starting tomorrow. Would you be on board for this kind of switch up to getting invested in private equities as your 401k retirement plan?
Okay, if I have recently
Yep.
started or I am starting my
Yep.
401k or a retirement plan, I want everyone to know that I am a high risk, high reward investor. Or I wouldn't say investor, trader. All right.
Yeah.
With that being said, if you are young, you know what? Start out the right way. You do have time on your side where you can be risky right now. And if you end up losing it, you've got more time to make it up. I think that's the wrong approach. I think the correct approach is to get a nice foundation under yourself, learn how to invest the proper way to set yourself up for a lifetime of, or not a lifetime, but a retirement of comfortability and stability. And after you've done that, that's when you can go ahead and start making your risky trades, or
Right.
you can start allocating a little bit more of your your paycheck investment into your 401k. That's when you can start going for that 20% of crypto or 30% of crypto,
Right.
or whatever that Larry Fink's talking about. Personally, I wouldn't do it right now. I'd put a little bit in. I'd probably go,
Yeah.
maybe 5-10%.
Like 5. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. It would be like 5 probably.
Yeah, because once again, you don't want to be there at 65 going, man, I could have had 8 million more dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 5 to 10 is a good rule of thumb.
Yeah.
But do you think
And
so? Would you say that this is like but this could be like a good step forward, long term future that giving 401ks access to private equity in general, even if it's not 20%, if it's like 5-10%, and you can set it to 5-10%, whatever. So, do you think overall that this is a good step forward for a 401k retirement account?
generally speaking, yes, I
Generally
do.
speaking, no percentages. Just hey, if I have the chance to get into private equities, and like it's like whatever it is, whether it's infrastructure, real estate, crypto, even
Can
if
I
it's
throw?
1%, whatever.
Can I just throw a caveat on here? I think it's an
Sure.
excellent idea as long as you are not over leveraged.
Correct.
There you go.
Completely agree with that one. Pringa, do you have any thoughts about that one? I know because I'm kind of just going on the line here. Sorry, Royalty, I'm taking over a little bit, but kind of just
you
going on
Got
the
used
line
to
to
it,
ask
huh?
people.
I think, with the 50, 30, 20, since it's not just 20 in crypto, it's pretty diversified within itself. I'd say, yeah, that's not a bad breakdown that they're putting in there.
Yeah,
I don't know about 30% in bonds, but hey, whatever.
But the way I look at it also that I think about is, with the idea of like the 20%, like you said, yeah, it's all across the way. But also like there's people who can't get into real estate right now anyways. Like I can't buy real estate right
True.
now where I'm at because of how expensive it is, interest rates, stuff like that. So if I can still get some benefit of real estate without having to go out and, drop a huge down payment down or pay a high interest rate and then refinance later on, like this gives me that exposure to the real estate market without having to really dump a lot of money into it. And also, again, like I never thought of infrastructure as an investment, but it's like, holy crap, yeah, like this place is like this country is growing. Like it's always building new things, it's always putting more money into growing it and making it bigger and better, right? So I always thought that was really interesting, and I want to be a part of that. I want to get on that, so that way, I'm not behind, I'm not falling behind here if that's where we're going. So, but you're 100% correct, I think, where you get not just 20% crypto, it's 20% between crypto. Maybe it's like 5% crypto, 5% real
Right.
estate, 10% infrastructure within it, whatever the case is. something like that maybe. But I think, yes, I love to hear that. Carly, did you have any? I don't know if you have any thoughts on this kind of moving forward aspect of 401ks or not.
I'm back to my bread. I'm just gonna let you guys chat.
Oh,
I
making
smell
bread.
it.
Uh,
I smell it
Yeah.
over here.
If it's a sourdough, I'll tell you what, I'll take a loaf.
right. Yeah. So no, I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on that one. So royalty, I'll leave it back to you. I don't know if you want me to stop sharing my screen or not, but it's always, that's kind of like the thing where it's like I didn't even know this, but pensions do have a better return than 401ks. I didn't even know that was even a possibility, but it's not a much big difference, obviously. But it's always to consider to think about, how can you get ahead of the game a little bit. So
Yeah.
that was my 2 cents.
Okay. Okay. Well, hey, you didn't take over the show. I mean, this is like I said, this is a team effort, so loved it. Um, and with me looking at pensions and 401k, well, I'm employed at, it's a pretty good
Yeah.
thing to know, and that's a pretty good thing to share with people just so they can know, the differences between the two. You know what I'm saying? So definitely dropping gems today. Well, actually, all you guys been dropping gems all night, so I appreciate you guys. We'll probably go ahead and start wrapping it up here. We done held you guys up for almost about 2 hours. And, we probably could go another 2 hours if we wanted to, but we gotta save some
I
for.
can go all night, man.
Hey, we gotta save some for next weekend and see what we can
Sure.
make out the market this upcoming week. So, as
Oh, for
always,
sure.
we gonna close out with. Does anybody have anything you want to send with the viewers going for into this new week? Anything positive? Anything that could help them with more of a positive mindset or execution, discipline, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I got something that's a little bit of a different one. Usually I say, "Hey, react to the market" or something like that, and I usually come up with like some Chat GPT version way of saying it. I feel like, but honestly, like this time is a little bit different for me. I think for me personally, something that's positive to walk away is honestly start finding some good websites that publish some really fascinating data about the economy, where it's going, the predictions, and everything. Like I look at Bank of America, they put a lot of statements out there that have a bunch of cool graphs and information behind it. There's another one I think I follow, like CME Research Group is another one that I subscribe to, and it's a free subscription where you just sign up for an email, and they have a lot of cool articles. And honestly, like the more articles you read into it, the more you can see and educate. Where's money going, where's the market going, what's going on here, what's going on there. So instead of just reacting to the market this week, because obviously it's going to be reactionary every single time, find some really cool websites. If Bloomberg has some free articles, they're not a free subscription, but they have some free articles you can read through some stuff. Like I said, I showed you guys the Larry Fink thing I found about BlackRock and stuff like that. That's a cool thing to read through. Just finding different websites that give you some really cool information and some really good pieces to help you stay informed with what the market's doing, what top CEOs are doing, what top financial advisors are doing, because it really helps you gauge what's happening. And it also has some cool information that has nothing to do with the stock market. Like Royalty just said, we went on to about pensions and 401ks. Nothing to do with the stock market, but still
Yes.
some very valuable information that you have there. So any kind of articles you can find that are backed by research really is going to make a difference in your financial game long term. So find some things, Google some things, reach out to me, obviously, if you'd like to, and I can definitely give some good direction for it. But find some articles and just read. And I tell you, it makes a huge difference. Then you can have these conversations and you can look for patterns and trends, and it will make your life 10 times better. And you really get a better understanding of finance. And that's what matters. The better you understand, the more of a good path you'll be on for financial freedom, in my opinion.
Facts,
I want to
facts.
piggyback on Bloomberg and let everybody know. Anybody who follows me probably knows I'm a Bloomberg junkie. I have it on all day during trading hours. I actually start at 5 in the morning. But you can stream it for free on their app. Their live
Oh,
shows.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
So, I always recommend if you're a day trader at home, find something you can stream and just throw Bloomberg on. You don't even have to have the volume, but you get the red heads. You get the uh, headlines like really, really, really fast. So,
Interesting.
and they're market related headlines. So you're ahead of the curve with news, especially if you're like a zero data trader, you know.
Good to know.
This is very useful. Thank you so much, Carly.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
You're welcome.
Yeah, so stream Fringe Financials videos on one, and then put Bloomberg on the other one and see who's better.
Gonna download that Bloomberg app tonight. Jeez.
Right? I'm saying. Wait, Carly,
Yeah.
does it work for the web browser too, or no? Just the
Looks
app,
like
you
it.
know?
Looks like it, Fridge. I'm opening it up right now. It looks like it.
I was going to say,
Perfect.
don't ask me a computer question.
Because I got 3 monitors. I got to figure out what to do with 2 of them. So if I could throw that on there, that'd be great.
They have really great shorts too.
That's awesome.
That was mine.
Fish, you want to send the people home with something to think about?
Yeah, man, I got a couple of things here. First, I'm going to touch on just hey, man. A friend of mine told me a couple years ago something that I will never ever forget. It doesn't cost anything extra to be kind. Be kind to one another, right?
Amen.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It
Yep,
doesn't cost
yep.
anything extra. So.
I think Shaq's mom said something like it costs you nothing to be nice or something like that. So yeah, exactly what you're talking about. So I'm sure she heard it from someone
That's
else.
what's up.
I'm sure she heard it from your friend, his dad or mom or whatever.
right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But yeah, so like, hey, man, if you're at the store, hold the door open for somebody. Just do something a little bit extra,
Even
just a
just
little bit
smile
nicer.
goes a long ways.
Yeah, exactly. Beyond that, as far as the market is concerned, try to tune the noise out. We got so much noise going on these days. There's just it's impossible to keep a clear head if you're focused on the charts and you're focused on all the noise going on. You've got CNBC or Bloomberg saying this, and then oh my God, the president's going to speak, and then you keep waiting for it, and then he's 30 minutes late, and then oh my God, the president just put out a social media post. Tune the noise out. Just trade the chart that's in front of you and trust your TA, trust your conviction, trust your DD, and trade from there, And then I just got to throw it out there, man. PSTV and MRM. MRM is a company that I just got into the other day. Thursday after market, it was announced that Sam Altman was partnering with them. It's so that's why I bought it, and all I know is it's going up. I don't have any projections on it. I don't think it's too late. I saw smart money getting in after I got in, and then PSTV is a company that does treatment for children. It's brain cancer treatment, but they specialize in pediatric treatment, and it's basically a way to make the treatments easier for children. They also, make it for adults, but they specialize for pediatrics. And so I just thought it was a great mission, good moral investing. So I went ahead and went in. Rather than day trading it, I went ahead and made a long position and just kept increasing my shares. I'm expecting 2 catalysts coming this week. They have earnings coming up, and then they also have an investor conference where they're going to release all of the newest data on their newest orphan drugs for their cancer delivery system, which is their cancer treatment delivery system. So, and it's all expected to be very, very good. So, just wanted to throw that in there.
Okay. Dope. Parunga, you got anything, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely say with Fridge, be nice. But I think, or sorry, Fridge, fish, my bad. I'd say when you're opening trades, just keep it small. Keep it small, keep it often. If we have a reversal, then you're losing only the small amounts that you are willing to fully lose. Just be smart, and if you're having a hard time, maybe find different ways to do it. Give me a call.
Give me a call.
Whatever.
Give me a call. I love that,
Yeah,
dude.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you, man. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think for the most part, all of our Discord DMs and chats are always open, even if you're not part of the kingdom. Like I I've helped people, and I know Fish helped people, and a lot of other of
I'm
us.
also there.
Yeah, Carly, everybody help people. But
Yeah,
our DMs are always open. Discord's always open. So definitely check them out. And like, everybody said, be kind. Start small. If you're having a hard time in the market at the moment, work your way back into, um, starting with a small amount and going back up to big amounts. I tell people all the time, buy shares. Buy shares. If you're having a rough time trading
exactly.
options, buy shares,
Yes.
man.
Preach royalty, please.
You can't go wrong. I mean, it's a company that you believe in. The money's not gonna. I mean, the stock is not gonna expire by the end of the week.
No
Just
time decay.
you
I'd
just
say,
hey, do what makes sense, and
yeah,
buying shares just makes sense if you're
I think
either getting in the market or just trying to build a foundation for your portfolio.
I'd say also to add to that, buy shares and don't panic. Just let
Don't
it be.
panic. Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
As long as the fundamentals haven't changed, it doesn't matter if the price goes down because you're in shares and you can wait for the price to come back up.
It's only
Exactly.
a loss if you sell.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So, but I want to appreciate everybody for giving up a little time to tap in with the Kingdom Podcast. We're here all week. If you're looking for somewhere, just to have a trading home, a community, you can definitely check out the Kingdom. If you're on After Hours, check out my bio, check out Parunga's, David Knight trying to make it. It's so many of us on After Hours that's a part of the Kingdom. You can check our bio. We'll have links there for you to join and just come fill us out. Close knit community. The Kingdom University is open. So definitely, if you're looking for education, we got everybody that's on this podcast today, and that's a part of the team. We're all educators there. We break stuff down. Carly is getting ready to host a ladies' night in the kingdom.
Yes,
Super dope.
ladies, please, if you're out there, please, any level is welcome. Anybody, all you ladies, please come. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be nice. It'll be a place you don't have to feel intimidated. If you're new, we don't care. You're gonna learn something, and just a nice time for all to learn from each other. So please, August 17th at 4 Cali time, 7 East time.
Yeah, so we'll get all the
I don't know.
details. We'll get all the details organized. We'll even make a bigger announcement, to draw in some more people that could be interested. So I mean, not
Yeah,
99% of the thing is people don't know. So we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it known, and I'm gonna make it exclusive to you ladies. So
yeah. Thank you, royalty.
yes, ma'am. So, thank y'all for tapping in with the Kingdom Podcast. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next Sunday. So, we're out, and we love y'all. Have a good week in the market. Have a good week in the market.